I've seen, you know, movies like Taken, where, you know, you're a young girl and you go traveling and then you, well, get taken. I figured a lot of you guys are curious, curious is a strange word, about like murder in South Korea. And what's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. So I literally just filmed my depressed 2020 video, but I am still here to try to give people things to look forward to and be optimistic about and live life. So with everything going on in the world, I am sure, well, specifically America side of the world, well, actually the world, this virus is everywhere, and then riots are in America right now. But I'm sure I get a lot of questions, my words, I get a lot of questions about the safety in South Korea. A lot of people who want to go, who want to visit, but who are girls going alone, so they want to know if it's safe, if they should be worried about North Korea, if you know, the language barrier might cause you to be robbed or whatever. Because I would say North Korea was something my family was terrified of when I decided I want to go to South Korea, right below this hostile state who wants to blow things up. And they're like, what? I did have this one scare about North Korea. It was like this drill. I'll get into that later. So if you're curious about the safety in South Korea, especially as a foreigner like me, then keep watching. Also, if you're not already, then please subscribe and dance on the like button below. Idols, dancing, get it? I'm still trying to experiment with terms. If you're interested in this type of content with Korea, travel, skincare, beauty, music, things like that, then subscribe please, and we're gonna get into this video. Okay, so safety in South Korea. Korea is literally the safest country I've ever lived in. Annyeong. I'm kidding. Okay, let me just start about the concerns I had when I first went versus how I realized it actually is, because I'm pretty sure I was in the same boat with a lot of you guys with the fears of North Korea and being a foreigner and all that stuff. So I first decided to apply to the TALK program in 2016. And if you guys remember, 2016 was very much a year where North Korea was constantly in the headlines, making threats about bombing stuff and raining fire and fury and all that extra stuff. Understandably, I was a little paranoid, a little scared, and so was my family. Like, I was willing to take the risk, my family was not. I was honestly a little worried because it started to get later in the year and I'm like, wait, they might not be like accepting applicants because of the hostilities with North and South Korea right now. So I was thinking I might miss out on teaching altogether. So on Jimin's birthday, October 13th in 2016, they finally put on their website that they're accepting applications, and I jumped right on that. Fun fact, I also told myself if Trump won the election that I would be leaving the country. I'm a man of my word. I literally boarded to Korea like 2 weeks after he was sworn in. Yeah. I saw this old meme with Kevin Hart that made me think of that again. I was like, yo, if he wins, I'm going to Canada or Korea. I chose Korea. Anyway, one tip I would like to give you guys, because my parents were absolutely extra about this, you should register with your country's embassy because you get all sorts of like updates regarding your status and things that might affect you because of your nationality. Like, I signed up to give my parents peace of mind. I didn't really think much of it. Like, you just sign in with your email and I think your passport number or something. I remember the first time I got like an email, it was about a protest in Korea that was like anti-foreigner. It just told me, hey, you're an American, you should not go to this area between these hours. There were actually a lot of protests while I was there because this was also right around the time when their former president, Park Geun-hye, was being, what's the word I'm looking for? What I hope to happen to Trump? Impeached. She was being impeached. So yeah, this was right around the time where she was about to be out of office and they had to have like another emergency election or whatever. And there were a lot of people who were supporting her and didn't want her to go to jail. And for some reason they like marched up the streets with American flags. And when I just saw the American flags, I'm like, what did we do now? We always in everybody's business. So I was a little concerned and scared for that because I'm like, wait, what do we do? Why are people screaming with American flags? Even as recently as November of 2019 when I was in Korea, people still gather saying they want her out of jail, and they have American flags and Korean flags, and they're protesting on behalf of Park Geun-hye. So that was one thing. Register with your embassy because you get sorts of alerts and tips. But yeah, so there were quite a few rallies that I was a bit nervous about when I first got there, but hearing things screamed at you in a foreign language on a megaphone made me a bit on edge, especially when I first got there and I didn't really speak or understand any sort of conversational Korean. My vocabulary game was on point, but I could not make sentences yet. Speaking of loud megaphones, oh my goodness. Especially in the countryside, you might have this problem. I used to have like mini heart attacks when I would hear megaphones just in the distance. I'm like thinking it's like a warning, seek shelter immediately type of sound. I don't know what it was, but apparently it was very common for like fruit vendors from their trucks to scream at you about their deals that they're having. Like they'll be driving around the neighborhood with these loud megaphones saying how great their oranges are. And I thought it was some sort of propaganda, seek shelter immediately thing. Like I'm thinking, oh wow, I just got here and North Korea's about to attack. Why am I so extra? Speaking of North Korea, I know you guys know about fire drills. Most of us have probably participated in them. But in Korean schools, they also have like North Korean drills where it was really cute. It was dark but cute. Like you would see the kids like holding their heads to protect them from debris and covering their mouths, I guess from like smoke and stuff. And we only had it like once every other month or something, but like you would just have to get outside or get under your desk just in case North Korea attacked us. Yeah, like the kids would tell me, teacher, stay low, we're under attack, it's practice. It was dark but very cute. They were very well adapted. Fun fact also, if you notice, a lot of the subway stations, like especially in Seoul, go mad deep, and that's in case there's an attack from North Korea and you can seek shelter underground. They also have like mad emergency supplies, like there's like face masks and food rations and stuff in case people have to hunker down there for a little bit. So yeah, like there's precautions that people take, but honestly, if Koreans aren't freaking out, then you shouldn't be either. They've been dealing with these bluffs for decades. If I hear something going off and the Koreans around me are like on cacao or taking selfies, then we're good. If they start, then you know something might be wrong. North Korea is crazy, but I don't think they're dumb. I think they know that if they drop a bomb or attack anybody, that it's fair game and that their hermit kingdom will likely be no more. United Nations alliances are gonna come for them and retaliate. I think they know that don't do that. So I don't think you have to worry about North Korea. I hope I didn't just jinx anything. There was this one funny time though where there was like a drill outside of school. I was actually on the bus. They told it like you just hear like the siren sort of thing. It wasn't like a huge siren, it was very localized. And we pulled off the side of the road and like ducked. And I was thinking, oh this is real. I thought I was about to die. And I guess bless her heart, this woman saw the panic in my face and she said, relax, it's only practice. And I was like, oh, okay. She said, hi, it's okay, it's okay. And I was like, patting me on the knee. So yeah, that happened. That was only in Jeju. That was only one time outside of school that I was ever in any sort of like North Korean seek shelter type of drill. It's never happened to me before. Only in Jeju that one time. Speaking of Jeju, I figured a lot of you guys are curious. Curious is a strange word, about like murder in South Korea. And in the over 2 years now that I have been in Korea, I only recall hearing of like 1 or 2 murders while I was there. I'm sure there were more and I just didn't hear about it, but murder's like not a thing. Like when it happens, it's major freaking news. I remember I had just left Jeju to move to my new town in Taean, and there was this guy who choked a woman to death. She was staying at his guest house and he went on the run for a little bit. I actually don't know if they ever caught him. He escaped to the mainland and they found her body like discarded nearby the guest house. I don't fully know what came of that, but that was like one murder I remember that happened like while I was there. There was also a case last summer with this woman who like murdered her husband. She like hacked up his body and put it in the ocean. But like I said, when murder does happen, it's a major deal. It's not like every day, dozens, thousands a day like it is in America. The worst one, I talked about it before on my channel, but for those who didn't see that video or that like segment, story, whatever, there was this one that was really bad. It was very, very like publicized. There was some incel guy who, involuntary celibate, who like can't get girls, just like sick of being disrespected and mistreated by women. So he decided to follow a random woman to the bathroom in a Gangnam station bathroom and stab her to death. Just a random woman He just hated women, so he stabbed her to death. And that was major news. Loser. Speaking of women, the vast majority of people who watch my channel are women. Girl power. So I know a lot of you are probably very concerned with any sort of travel abroad as a female. Like, rightfully so. Girls, you have to be careful anywhere you go. I'm not saying be on guard. I'm not saying let your guard down either. You should always maintain a certain level of alertness wherever you go. Like, I'm sure you guys have heard of the burning sun scandal last year. You know, the hidden cameras and drugging women and forcing yourselves on the women. We've all heard about that. That unfortunately happens to girls like anywhere in any country. Honestly, the burning sun was a bit of a shock to me because I've seen girls and guys passed out on the streets on any given night of clubbing, just passed out wearing their notoriously short skirts, and nothing happens. Like, nobody gets a shoe stolen, nobody has their wallet stolen, no one does anything to your person. I've seen girls just strung out, like, and nothing happens. If anything, I've seen guys and people like, do you need a taxi? Are you okay? Do you need the hospital? So I was really caught off guard by the burning sun thing, but that, like I said, that goes to show you that nowhere is completely safe. But I will say, like, me as a female, I could walk around in Jeju City or Taean or Seoul or Gangnam or Daegu or Incheon or Busan, wherever I've been walking, at like 3 a.m. and not feel overly paranoid or cautious or scared or worried. And that's a lot coming from me because I am a worrywart. I don't trust anybody. And I'm very paranoid. I wouldn't do that in America. I'm not gonna go for a walk by myself at night. No, no, no. But in Korea, I felt like it was safe enough to do that. Like, not saying to just go out and do what you want. I'm not trying to say, go for a walk at 5 a.m. and see what happens. I'm just saying, it's just trying to paint a picture of like the environment, the feels, the atmosphere. And I gotta reapply. All right, so I just want you guys to know, like, it's a lot safer than you probably would think, especially as a foreigner. Don't get me wrong, there were some very creepy encounters. I could probably make a whole video on the creepiest stuff that's happened to me in Korea, being followed. Actually, yeah, let me know if y'all want to hear more about that in the comments. Let me know, because I got some stuff. As far as things like break-ins go, that wasn't really a thing to my knowledge. For one, everyone has like most people, there are very few like residences or businesses or wherever that uses a key. They have like the little key code thing. So I would just suggest you change it somewhat frequently. You know, you don't want to be all like 14362 out loud. You know, keep that private and try to change it as frequently as you can or feel the need to. This was actually the first time I lived on my own because, you know, I lived at home and then I dormed away out of state at college with roommates. So this was my first time living on my own, and I wasn't nervous or scared to live alone, to go to sleep alone, to shop alone, to be alone. It was fine. What else are safety concerns? Let's talk about guns. Someone explained to me, I might be wrong, so I probably shouldn't say this, but if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Someone told me that Koreans have their guns at police stations, and once you want it, you have to like go to the police station. The cop like sees your demeanor and he's like, all right, I think you're good. Or if he sees that you're upset or worked up, he's like, yeah, no, you're not getting this. That's what a Korean person told me. They might have been just messing with me, I don't know. But I personally felt way safer in a country that didn't have just guns on any random person, especially like AR-15s, which I get self-defense, fine, whatever, if you must, but who needs an AR-15? If you need that type of gun to hunt, then maybe hunting ain't for you. Like, you're just bad at it. I felt so safe in Korea. Like, I'm not trying to be subtle. Like, I felt very safe in Korea. I think the last thing I want to get into is like theft, because like theft is a problem, right? Regarding safety, people get robbed and they get their things stolen. Not in Korea. I remember the only time something like that sort of happened to me where I was worried about it was I was on a very crowded bus in Jeju City coming home from work, and like I'm used to the bus ride back being more packed because it picks up the high school students too, so we're all standing up holding on for dear life on these chains, so I was used to that. So the bus, I had one of those stupid phone cases that had like the card slots on one side, and you know, you take them out after a while, it gets loose, so they don't really stay in anymore. So the bus driver, I was on my phone, and like the bus driver suddenly stopped, which is very normal on public transportation in Korea. So my cards went flying forward and everybody's standing on them, and I'm like, oh no, like I saw that my ARC went out, my T-Money card, my debit card, and my American ID. Well, no, I don't think my American ID was in there. But yeah, everything just went sliding out, and I'm like, oh no, trying to like get by, and people were helping me find them. Like, it slid under people's seats, they slid under people's feet, and they were like, oh, here you go. And I'm like, oh my god, thank you, Korea's dope. Because in America, they'd be like, I ain't seen no debit card. I remember clubbing at this club called Midnight in Itaewon. I don't think it's a thing anymore. It might be. This woman lost her purse, and she had a ton of cash in her purse. And we're like, why would you come clubbing with that much money on you? But someone found it and returned it to her, and none of her money was missing. Korea, dude. Like, people are like very honest, in my opinion, in Korea. For me, I feel like it's so much better when you find some, like, hey, you were about to walk away without your phone, and let them know, or oh, your bag is here. I just feel so validated as a good person, and I'm like, yo, I'm dope.
That is not correct.
You would think it would be so easy to take advantage of a foreigner in Korea, or if any, morbidly for them to go missing, because a lot of people who go to Korea are English teachers. They don't speak the language. And if you were like me, I didn't even have a Korean phone number for most of the time I was there. So I couldn't even call for help if I needed to. I had Kakao for everything. I don't know if there's an emergency way to call Kakao or not. I probably should have done research on that while I was there, God forbid. But yeah, it would be so easy to charge too much money, and I'm sure that happens. It would be so easy to be like, oh no, this is how much you owe. No change for you. And that's just that. Or to tell you, yeah, this is the hotel and it's some creepy dude's apartment. It would be so easy for that to happen, but it's just not likely to happen to you in Korea. I'm not saying it's not impossible. I'm just saying Korea is mad safe. Even when I went to visit Japan and Hong Kong, like I just felt so safe there. Like, I've seen, you know, movies like Taken, where, you know, you're a young girl and you go traveling and then you, well, get taken. Because my dad was definitely bugging out about that. He was like, make sure you carry some pepper spray, or maybe we should get you a knife. I'm like, I'm not carrying a knife. I don't want to have to use that. I'm fast, I can run. I'm just trying to reassure you guys, it's mad safe in Korea. Like, I never felt like I was in danger. Even when creeps would follow me, I'm just like, that's cute. Like, I was never scared of them. Anyway, that was just a quick-ish rundown of some safety aspects from my point of view in Korea. I get a lot of questions and comments, especially on Instagram. Follow me because I answer your questions on Instagram too. I get a lot of comments from girls who are scared to go abroad alone. They're like, hey, I'm thinking of going to Korea this summer by myself. Is it safe? Should I get a gun? Things like that. So I am here to tell you, in my experience, Korea is fully safe. Like, that's the thing I miss the most. And like I said, if in my last video, if you guys saw the 2020 nightmare video, if Trump is re-elected, I am leaving the country for good. I'm not coming back until he's gone. So y'all might catch me in Korea permanently. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful and eased some of your fears. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.